ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. You're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network or watching us right here on the Roundtable on YouTube. I'm so excited. I just had the chance to see Spamalot. I just saw Alex Brightman yesterday. We've had Nick Walker on the show. We've had James Monroe Englehart on the show. And I went to see the show, and I'm like, Jimmy is a good Jersey Italian boy like me. I know it. I know he is. Jimmy Smagula is here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I still can't say it, Jimmy.
No, you said it right. Smagula. You said it right. You got it.
My mother's maiden name is DeMeglio. So, I've got it in me, Jimmy.
We're probably related somehow. Where did you grow up? Where in Jersey?
Richfield Park.
Oh, okay. Lyndhurst.
And literally make a left at the medieval times and you find Jimmy.
That's it. If you watch The Sopranos, that was my childhood.
Do you know what's funny is that I used to say there's an episode where Tony Soprano's kids Googled the father and find out that the father is in the mob. And I went home and Googled my father because I was like, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I recently did that and found out some things about some people I went to high school with. But we'll leave it there because I don't want to get into, I'm just a Broadway performer. I don't want to get into any kind of trouble with anyone. As my mom would tell me when I was growing up, there's no such thing as the mafia. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to tell people there's no such thing.
I also agree, Jimmy. I don't want to end up in the marshes.
We don't want any trouble. I love everybody. I live close enough to Little Italy that I don't want any trouble with anybody. I'm happy to be alive. I'm proud to be an Italian American, very proud.
Same.
And that's where we'll leave that.
Well, I love this story. While we're talking,
I was on The Sopranos. I played a gay basher on The Sopranos.
I sure know.
I found Vito in the gay bar. Spoiler alert! If you haven't,
you were Sal.
I was Sal Iacuso. It was a very small scene. I probably had 4 or 5, maybe 6 lines, but it was the first time I had ever auditioned for The Sopranos. And the scene wound up being on Entertainment or Access Hollywood and Extra and all these, because it was a pivotal scene. It kind of changed the course of one of the characters' entire arc. So it was a great scene. And I don't think there's anything my Jersey Italian parents are more proud of. 8 Broadway shows, 35 all the movies. And it's The Sopranos. It's 6 lines on The Sopranos that will live in their hearts forever.
Well, Jimmy, when you Google you, the screenshots come up, the stories come up. The Sopranos is 8 shows a week means nothing than that day of shooting.
It only means something to my body, my back, my hips, my feet, my neck.
I understand.
Yeah, too.
Well, I'm going to definitely ask you about the physicality of the show and what it's like to work together as a team, because you all are doing a dance 8 shows a week on stage together.
Yeah.
But you come from you played about 65 instruments in growing up.
This is true. I play 4 instruments. Yes. I was always, I grew up in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, which was a town that was very focused on athletics, on football. And so I was so lucky to have teachers that supported me. This little kid who wanted to sing and dance and play instruments, and I got to conduct the choir and conduct the band. And so I was lucky. If it wasn't for those teachers, I don't know that this would have ended, or become, no, it's not ending, but I don't have any horrible announcement to make. We're just beginning. But I don't know that the journey would have been the same for me as it's been. It's very important for young people to have people that say, hey, it's okay you play the piano. In fact, it's awesome that you play the piano. Why don't you write me a song? I remember my 2nd grade music teacher saying, write me a song. Go home and write me a song. Bring it in next week. And I wrote her a little song. So to have those people in your life when you're a little kid is so important. Teachers are just our heroes. They're our heroes.
Well, I'm coming to you from the 5th grade classroom in North Bergen, New Jersey, where I keep my day job.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. You're one of them.
So I appreciate that sentiment a lot. I'm very lucky that I get to pay my bills and get my health insurance and pension, and then get to talk to amazing people like you and keep the artist inside of me alive as well. And while we're talking, make sure you get your tickets to go see spamalotthemusical.com. Go to
Come see us.
spamalotthemusical.com and follow Jimmy on Instagram. It's his name, so just
Yes,
find him.
Jimmy Smagula.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Smagula.
Smagula from New Jersey.
I love it. Perfect. So you go to NYU like a fancy person.
And let me tell you something, we had no money. So that's another miracle from the universe. Our friends and family pitched in. It was like crowdfunding before the internet. It was, student loans, and because we had no money. I mean, NYU at the time I went cost $26,000 a year. That was more than half of what my parents made when I grew up together. So, and I have a brother, and things, there were other people to feed and clothe and give things to. So that was a big sacrifice. I think about that often, that my blue collar parents sacrificed so much to let their kid go to NYU and get a degree in acting is insane. I went to school for musical theater. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. So many things went right for me early on, and thank God I guess it worked out.
It sure did. It sure did. While we're talking, I could sit here and we could go through the list of shows, starting at Paper Mill Playhouse all the way to Broadway and etc. So the journey really continues and keeps on going, and the movies and the TV shows and everything.
Yeah.
But how did Spamalot come to your life? Was it an audition? Was it through a director? How did it happen?
I came to Spamalot because I had done The Music Man and Guys and Dolls at the Kennedy Center and become friendly and friends with our executive producer, Jeffrey Finn. And originally, the Kennedy Center was going to do Kiss of the Spider Woman in this spot. And so I said, oh, great, I love Kiss of the Spider Woman. There's really nothing for me in there. Wonderful show. And then at the kind of the last minute, I saw on some website, the Kennedy Center announces Spamalot, and it had, Alex Brightman and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, wait a minute. I could be in Spamalot. In fact, I was cast in Spamalot in Las Vegas back in 2006 at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. But I actually got the job, and they rescinded the offer because they couldn't find costumes that were my size at the time. And it was going to be a limited replacement, like 3 months, and they didn't want to spend the $12,000 or whatever it was to build costumes. So I was actually cast in the very same role that I play now all those years ago and never got to do it. So when I saw the Kennedy Center was doing Spamalot, I just texted Jeffrey and said, hey, I could totally do this. I love working at the Kennedy Center. It's the most fun you can have. And I'd love to do it. And he worked his magic, and I got to do it. I knew that Jeffrey really wanted a show to come to Broadway. In fact, I thought Guys and Dolls was going to come to Broadway because it was so incredibly well received. And we had such an incredible cast and such a great time. But London already had the rights for Guys and Dolls. So I knew he was really, really trying very hard to get something to move from the Kennedy Center. So my strategy was, my business strategy was get attached to as many shows at the Kennedy Center as possible, because one of them eventually is going to go and you don't want to not be in it. And this one, I know, and it actually was this one. I didn't know that at the time. Of course, we didn't know that even after we opened at the Kennedy Center. There were rumblings, and we got great reviews, and everybody seemed to like it, and the audience was going crazy, and the performances were incredible, as they still are now 8 times a week on Broadway. But I don't know if the show's going to go to Broadway. And it worked out.
It sure did, and it worked out, and it's playing right now. Spamalot is back on Broadway, and it is so clever and funny. I remember seeing it, the original production on Broadway, which was brilliant. And you guys have just taken that and modernized it and played with it and tinkered with it and made it even more funny. I worry about you, Jimmy, because you're falling down. You're rolling around.
No. Yes, I am. But don't worry. I just came from physical therapy. I have a lot of people holding me up every week and trying to fix my, it's funny because this is my 8th Broadway show. I have injuries from every show. My hip hurts from going on the Elephant and Phantom. My neck and shoulder hurt because I hurt them in Billy. I have an injury for every show I've ever done. So it is, and I just said to somebody last night, another one of the principal, like, does your body hurt? Or not last night, last week. Does your body hurt? He said, yeah. He said, well, of course, this hurts on my feet, my ankles, and my knees. And I did this show, and this hurt. So we're all up there doing one show at a time. You can just do one show at a time. How do I feel now? It's 4:00. It's Tuesday. I have a show tonight. I feel well enough to do the show tonight. Tomorrow is a different story. But I just go one show at a time. And tonight my body feels rested. And, the day off is very important. You can't go and run a marathon on the day off. You can't go and, I haven't really been to the gym in a very long time. And going to the gym is something I actually enjoy doing. But I need to rest my body when I'm not doing 8 shows a week, particularly being 48 years old. I haven't done a Broadway show in 12 years. I did Billy Elliot, and then I moved to LA, and I've been doing film and television mostly for the last 12 years. I did the national tour of Les Mis. I did a couple shows at the Kennedy Center, like I said, but I haven't wanted to do a Broadway show in 12 years. So coming back, there was some apprehension going like, am I going to be able to do 8 shows a week? Am I going to like doing 8 shows a week? Mentally, am I going to be able to do 8 shows a week? Because as you know, it's the same thing. My job is to give an opening night performance every show. That's our job. So that is challenging, but it's also very fun. And in this particular show, we get to improvise so much. The audience is really another character in the show. They feed us so much during the show. And the show goes by so quickly because it's this big, beautiful comedy. The audience is having the greatest time. We're having the greatest time. We get to make each other laugh on stage. So all of those things combined, I really helped me at my age and my injuries get through 8 shows a week.
Well, I was there a couple weeks ago. We had the best time. I'm not trying to spoil the show for anyone who's going to go now and buy their tickets, but when you go, I am sure there is a different show every night because there are moments.
It is different. It is different every night. It really is. And that's what's fun. And we have people that come 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 times. I meet them outside when I go out and to the stage door and meet the people after. And oh my God, it's my 10th time. I can't wait. I'm coming back again next week. And tonight I sat in the mezzanine and it was, so different. And this person said this tonight. And it's great to have the freedom to be able to do that on stage and to really every night is unexpected. But that makes theater alive. That makes film and TV alive.
Yes.
If something's over-rehearsed, you're not able to catch those magic moments of real life, which is what we're all looking for. Even in a show like Spamalot that is so big and broad, you want to have those moments of real life. You want to see the actors tickle each other. It's so fun because then it's an experience that only you sitting in the seat can have. You're not looking at a bunch of robots doing the same thing every day. You're looking at living, breathing actors who have strengths and weaknesses and faults and and it's a beautiful that's what makes the theater so beautiful, and that's what makes this theater so interesting. And that's why people, I think, want to go to see theater rather than go to a movie. You could watch Napoleon. I just saw Napoleon. It's a wonderful movie. You could watch Napoleon 1,000 times. You're going to see the same. You might see different intricacies in the performances, particularly when you have an actor like Joaquin Phoenix. But it's the same movie. Nothing's different. When you come to the St. James Theater, you're seeing a different show, and a show that is alive, that is its own entity, its own living, breathing. Every single show should be like that.
Well, especially when you have a cast like you, Jimmy, and you put Nick, and you put James, and you put Jonathan Bennett, and you put Alex Brightman, who
Leslie Kritzer too. My God, Leslie Kritzer is blowing the roof off of that theater. 8. I don't know how she's doing 8 shows a week. I mean, I'm old and I'm injured, but I don't have to do the demands of her role are so incredible. And I'm telling you, every night she kills it. She kills, and Alex and James and Nick and Jonathan and Chris, everybody really. But man, the performances are just they're incredible, and I stand in awe on stage most of the show every night with my colleagues going, I'm so lucky to be able to work with them. I'm so lucky to see them work every night. It's a joy.
Well, and you said it. There, you all are an all-star team. Leslie's vocals and comedic performance are off. She's giving every pop diva a run for their money.
Oh my God, she's the greatest, and she's another Jersey person, just like us. She's like my Jersey sister, And I'll tell you, we're all so close. Ethan Slater too. My God, we didn't even mention Ethan Slater. Ethan Slater is incredible. What he's doing 8 shows a week physically, he just gave himself a black eye because he fell the wrong way. I mean, what he's throwing his body around the stage, he's incredible. And to the point I was going to make before I remembered about how brilliant Ethan is, we all love each other. We are really like a family, and that goes for the ensemble. The ensemble is incredible. What they're dancing on tables, they're tap dancing, they're flipping around. It's wild. The incredible orchestra that we have, the crew, the wardrobe. There are so many people that make a Broadway show work. Front of house, security. We're all one big family, and we're all rooting for each other every single night. And it's so special. It's so wonderful. It's so magical. And, I'm so happy to be back on Broadway after so long. I feel like I've been welcomed back with open arms, and I see people that go like, it's Jimmy Smagula. It's been 12 years. Oh my God, where have you been? What happened? Because I was around all the time. And then suddenly I wasn't. I didn't have a goodbye party. I just kind of floated away. Well, so it's been beautiful to be back. It's really been beautiful. And it's the best community in the world. It's the best community in the world.
Well, we're so excited to see you. It's a performance. Listen, there's so much heaviness in the world. There's so much heaviness, and heavy theater is wonderful, and drama and dark and dramatic. But sometimes we just need a Saturday night, a good bowl of pasta, a drink, and a seat at the St. James, and come see your show.
Listen, if you want to laugh and have a great time, come see Spamalot. You can leave your troubles at the door. You can just sit there and enjoy. There we are. Look how adorable we are. You can just come and sit and laugh and have a silly, silly time. It's just silly and fun, and you'll feel better after the show. You really will. You'll feel lighter and happier and better after the show. That's our hope anyway.
I did. I sure did. Yeah. Jimmy, you're going to march this show through Tony season. You're going to march this show with $1 million plus grosses, people jamming in the theater. So get your tickets.
Yes.
And you're going to, now you're back. So are we going to steal you? Is New York stealing you?
I hope so. I mean, I'll tell you a funny story. I just did Blue Bloods last week after 13 auditions over 11 years. It was like a personal victory for me to book the show finally. I've auditioned for every kind of character, every kind of role, with scenes on every person on Tom Selleck and Donnie Wahlberg, and I finally got to work on the show last week. So that's coming up for me, which is really exciting. That's the 7th episode of this last season, season 14 of Blue Bloods. And I'd be happy to stay and do Broadway show after Broadway show again. I love it here. And I love this city. New York is my favorite city in the world. It drives me crazy, like it drives all of us crazy. But it is my favorite city in the world. It is the greatest city in the entire world. And I'm having just a blast. And I just feel so grateful and so happy and so lucky to be able to do something that I dreamed about doing since I was 8 years old. It's wild. It's crazy.
That's what I think when I read your story and when I saw the show, I think that what touches me is, when I see people that are a hop, skip, and a jump away from where I grew up, And I know the story of the working class, blue collar, Italian family from Jersey, a dad that goes to work every day and works hard, and a mom that keeps it all.
Yeah.
To see you up there, I'm sure it must be the most beautiful journey.
They've seen 8 Broadway shows, and I've been in them all. I have said to them, do you want to go see Wicked? You want to go see A Beautiful Noise? No, they're not interested. They only want to see, and they came to Spamalot, and it was just so, it's such a gift to be able to have them so close, because they're older, they're older now. And it's such a gift to be able to have them so close, to be able to get them here, to see shows and meet the people that I work with and see what I do. And I don't know, boy, the more I talk, the luckier I feel, the more grateful I feel, really.
Well, I can't wait to go see it. I'm going to go see it again because Michael Urie has been here, and now Michael's gone, and Jonathan is there.
Yes, Jonathan's wonderful. They're both just so wonderful.
So you gotta keep going. Go back and see it.
Come on.
I want to see the ad libs. I want to see the movie lines. I want to see the whole shebang. Monty Python's Spamalot is now playing. You can get your tickets. You better get them because they go. Spamalotthemusical.com is where you can go to grab them. You can follow Jimmy right on Instagram to see where is he going to be next. And
I'll tell you, this past week we did 5 sold out shows. We did Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday, sold out. Completely standing room only. It's a joy. It's a joy.
February. In February. The dead of winter. So
I know we're very lucky. We're very lucky, and we're ready to just keep on going. We're having a blast.
And I'll meet you at the Whiskey Cafe. I don't even know if these things are still open in Lyndhurst.
I know what that is.
It's closed.
Meet us at the pastry shop.
I know that.
The Lyndhurst pastry shop. It's the only place to go for medieval times.
I know. Jimmy, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks.